Have you ever wanted to tea dye your lace down to match whatever you were making a little bit better? Hi, I'm Christina, and today I am super excited to be tea dyeing my lace for my bloomers. I decided to make my bloomers out of just some muslin, and the only lace that I could find was stark white. And I knew that I could tea dye it down to match my muslin just a little bit more. So, without further ado, let's gather our materials and get tea dyeing. It's time to start, so I'm going to take out my 2 tea bags and put them in a bowl and add some hot water. This will help start getting that pigment out into the water so that we can tea dye these fun pieces of lace. Before I actually dye the full pieces of lace, I'm going to want to test it. So as this pigment is darkening up and everything, I'm going to cut off 2 pieces of this lace to test my tea dye. I am actually going to let the bag still be absorbing into the water during this test, but before you actually dye your real pieces of lace, you want to take those out. So as I put them in, I want to start my timer because you want to know how long it's in there for. The longer you leave it in, the darker they will get. So you want to make sure that you know how long you left in your test pieces so you can make sure that you don't leave in your real pieces for too long or too short. You can always go back and add them a little bit more. I always try to lean towards the lighter side, especially for personal projects. There they are. So now I'm going to start for real. So I'm just going to dump in my first set of lace and I'm going to mix it around. I want to make sure that the pigment's nice and is spread throughout the water nicely, and I want to make sure that the lace is nice and submerged. And after I get it nicely mixed around and everything, I will let it sit for about 2 minutes is what I decided off of my testers. With a lot of dyeing, actually, once you have it, you are going to be rinsing it, and the rinse can actually rinse out some of the color. So it is sometimes better to go a little bit darker than you were originally expecting. Again, this is where the testing really comes in handy. So I'm now going to pull out my first piece of lace and I'm going to move it over to the sink so that I can rinse out all the extra pigment that got put in there. So I'm going to rinse it until the water is running clear. And then once you are happy with that, you can kind of take a look and make sure that it's about the color you want. Once it is dry, it will be still slightly a lighter color, but I'm actually really happy with this. So I'm on to my second piece. Now I did notice in my test that this piece soaked up pigment much faster than the other piece. And it's because the fiber content is a little bit different. So I know this one will get darker faster. So I'm going to leave it in for slightly less amount of time than my first one. But I'm going to do the same thing, move it over the sink, and make sure it is nice and clear, the water's running clean. And then once I'm done with that, all I have to do is put it in the dryer to dry it. Now I did put it in little lingerie bags so that it wouldn't continue to tangle within each other. And then I will have my muslin ready, or I will have my lace ready to be added to my muslin bloomers. And there we have it. That is how easy it is to tea dye some cotton lace so that it matches a muslin color or anything. If you left it in the tea a little bit longer, you can get it nice and dark. It's one of those fun kind of natural ways to dye some natural fibers. That is the key point. You can't always do it with the polyester plastic or anything like that. It has to be the cotton or natural fibers so that they can actually absorb the new colors. Definitely check back later and see how these bloomers turn out. Or if you're interested in how I drafted them, definitely check out this video here. And make sure to like and subscribe for more fun and entertaining ways to be patterning and building. And we will see you next time.